So today I'm the Director of User Experience at Google Nest. And Google Nest is a team that develops consumer hardware and software experiences for the home with the intention of being helpful and adding value to people's lives. So we have a mission I resonate with greatly: to create a home that takes care of the people inside it and the world around it. So I want to give a shout out to my team. They're amazing. They're a big reason why I love my job. And my team, I think what you find in user experience teams is people from many different backgrounds, which I think makes us magical. And we're also a multidisciplinary group. So we have interaction, visual, audio, and motion designers, as well as user researchers, program managers, copywriters, and prototypers. And so as designers, I believe we're responsible for the end-to-end experience of our products. And so that means we go across experiences broadly, but we also go deep into the fine and fiddly details of a product. And so my team and I work alongside an incredibly talented industrial design team, as well as brilliant teams such as engineering, product management, marketing, just to name a few. It takes many people, a lot of dedication, and great minds to ship the products we do. And we have a pretty beautiful range of products in our portfolio that we've created for the home. Products such as thermostats, smoke detectors, security systems, doorbells, cameras, and speakers and displays that run Google Assistant. So I personally love designing products and experiences for the home. And I believe it's an absolute privilege to design products people will welcome into their home. Our homes are our most sacred and personal space. So today I'm going to talk to you about how we think about the home, some ideas we have on what the future home might look like, and I'll take you through some of the details we focus on every day. So, our homes are one of our biggest investments. It's where we spend the largest portion of our income. How do you decide what comes into your home? What objects are special in your home? What things do you use every day? What things are sacred? It's so personal. And if you purely look at the cost of running a home, whether you buy a home or you rent, it really makes you think about what's taking up space. Like just price per square meter, you'll start to be like, why is this junk hanging around? And maybe part of why the Marie Kondo thing is getting so popular. And sort of like, why do you have the things you have in your home? So when preparing for this talk, I looked around my home for what was important and what belonged. And it was pointed out to me that there's a half-built CNC machine on the bookshelf. It's a machine with the help of a computer that cuts plastic wood metal into any shape you can dream of. And it didn't seem unusual to me because it's part of our home. I mean, truly, it's the result of a designer and an engineer living together. But I think each of you could probably think about things in your home or your parents' home that are equally unusual, yet familiar. There we go. So we're in an interesting time where we see more technology entering the home. It can be intimidating, potentially overwhelming. People have a lot of questions. How are the products, technology, and design going to make my life easier? Is technology attractive? Is it something I want in my home? It's also an exciting prospect. New technologies to make our lives easier, delightful. Movies and TV shows have been showing us the magic of technology for decades. For example, computers you could control with your voice seemed futuristic decades ago. But today, anyone can have a voice assistant in their home that's connected to the world's information. And these assistants can respond back to you with voice, and they can show you information on displays that you can interact with through touch. But technology, it's not new to the home. If you think of the invention of electricity and the light bulb in 1879, it went on to transform society. And keep in mind, it took 30 years for only half of US homes to get electricity. And it's still not something we can take for granted in households across the world today. Dishwashers, washing machines, the landline, TVs, they've all transformed how we live, and they've become the foundation of the modern home. But for each of these inventions, it took decades to become commonplace. Almost all new technology starts as a novelty, or it's just available to the wealthy. It takes time for standard systems, infrastructure to be established, as well as meeting people's needs and daily habits. And a challenge we see today is that these products aren't connected. They're all individual devices with their own system, their own way of working. And as we introduce more devices, there's an opportunity for them all to work together and be connected. So with this, we see a paradigm shift coming. We see it as a transition from mobile computing to what we're calling ambient computing. And these transitions don't happen very often. They actually happen about once a decade. So 20 years ago, you had the transition from PC computing to web computing. And that was the kind of foundation of Google and many amazing startups at the time. And about 10 years ago, you had the transition from web computing to mobile computing. And that was the beginning of the iPhone, Android, and many amazing mobile applications that have been out there for a decade. So our belief is this latest transition to ambient computing, the notion of having an always accessible computer, wherever you are, having a consistent experience at home, at work, on the go, that understands you and can do things on your behalf. And it's also no longer about devices specific to individuals, like mobile phones and laptops. It's a system that serves many at once. And we believe this transition will start in the home. The home is a communal environment, and there's a lot of devices. And there are new technologies we believe, there are new challenges we believe technology can solve. But as a designer, I like to approach problems from a human-centered point of view. I believe people are at the center of the home, and they'll always be the center of the home. And you could ask, well, what makes technology human? And just stepping away from technology a bit, it's always nice to come back to furniture design and something tangible, is what makes one chair cold and uncomfortable, and another comfortable and something you keep for a long time? And consider there's a lot of chairs in the world. There's different tastes, there's different needs, there's different context, and it's really individual. So from my point of view, there's always one very simple question to ask ourselves. That design and clearly framing the human problem you're solving for is a crucial part of a product and experience being something people enjoy, get value from, and therefore bring into their home. And a good part of this is also providing options for people and understanding people come from different cultures and different perspectives. So for decades, we've been seeing video calling in movies and TVs. You know, it wasn't that long ago it seemed futuristic or science fiction. And today, with a product like the Nest Hub Max, you can call your mum from your kitchen, answer your doorbell and let someone in with a package, or follow a recipe. So with this, my team look at how can we design end-to-end experiences for everybody. And it's increasingly important in the home, where you have many people of different ages and different generations. But there's always been many people in the home. There's also been technology in the home. So what's the problem we're solving? The paradigm shift is around communal devices, with experiences that were built for one person at a time. So in a communal setting, we need to decide whose calendar to show. You know, what if you're organizing a surprise for your significant other, and you don't want that booking to show up on the kitchen display? You know, what if you have kids and adults in the same room? What content do you show? What if sports scores of supporters of competing teams are in the same household? You know, what if there are multiple people in the room at once? These are pretty big problems we're still working on. And some of the recent solutions that we have are face detection. So when you look at a display, it knows who you are. And voice detection, so when you're speaking, it can pick up who you are. And it really shows there's this need for everything to work together. One of my favorite products at Google is the Nest Protect smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. I didn't realize I would take a smoke detector as one of my favorite products, but it's beautiful and it's very functional as well. It took the old beeping model of a conventional smoke detector that when the batteries are low, I think you've all experienced it, you get a broomstick and you whack it, or you rip it off your wall and you no longer have a smoke detector and your house isn't safe. So with the Nest Protect, it reminds you well in advance when you need batteries. It's not going to beep at you. It has an app that is connected to it. And you can silence it from your phone. If you're cooking and there's no real emergency, you can just grab your phone out and silence the alarm. So it's a wonderful and it's a really slick product, But if you have conventional smoke detectors in your home, there's no point of throwing out a perfectly functioning smoke detector. And that's the thing with the connected home. It can be seen as needing to replace all these objects in your home and get a whole new set of products. And that can be quite costly. So this is a challenge we're approaching at looking at how can we augment existing products with technology. We're also looking at how our products and experiences can be more accessible to many people. So we designed what we call sound sensing. So it works by having a Nest Mini, which is a little speaker, and it can listen for the sound of a non-connected smoke detector or carbon monoxide alarm. And then through a notification, it can let you know on your phone what's going on in your home when you're not there. And it also has an emergency button so you can get straight to the emergency services. So this is an amazing example of using technology to augment older or non-connected products in your home. So Wi-Fi, I think we can all agree Wi-Fi has become the foundation of many homes, and it's ever more important with connected devices. So 3 years ago, Google Wi-Fi was launched. It was incredibly successful. It's currently one of the top mesh routers on the market. And our latest version of Nest Wi-Fi has 2 devices, a router and a point. And you might be wondering, what's a mesh network? A very simple explanation of it is it's the creation of a much bigger Wi-Fi coverage area by having a Google Wi-Fi router and a Wi-Fi point talking to each other. Essentially, it makes Wi-Fi in your home so much better, particularly if you have a big home or you have thick walls or many different situations. You can get Wi-Fi into every corner, get it out in your backyard, you name it. So with this product, which is beautiful as an end product, a really big design challenge for us is that it comes with 2 devices to set up. And it's also got Google Assistant as a key new feature. So we know through experience as well as research, once there's more than 1 device, it adds a considerable amount of complexity for setup. People need to know which device to install first, how to set it up, where to place the device, and which device, in the case of this product, has Assistant in it. And another challenge is ensuring people set up the devices to create the best mesh network. So in order to create a robust mesh network, the devices need to be placed in the right areas of your home. And so this is something we spend a lot of time researching and designing in the setup, because everything is set up through the app. So how do we guide people around their home to put the products in the right location? And our industrial design team did an amazing job creating beautiful products that blend into the home and also look great in the open. And that was really important because for the products to be in the open, the Wi-Fi performance is considerably better. And with this, we also designed a lighting system to communicate to the user, like to simply show the Wi-Fi is working, or if you mute the microphone, it's unmistakably off and the customer is assured that the device is not, that Assistant is disabled. We also designed an app experience to allow people to see like a complete and clear picture of their network health at a glance, as well as manage passwords and settings and guest access for Wi-Fi. As well as, there's some really cool features there where you can pause Wi-Fi on children's devices or send a bigger set of bandwidth to your TV if you're watching Netflix. And in this particular product, the light language was something we prototyped extensively with our engineering team to get all of the details right. And it was specifically, we did a lot of intensive prototyping because we were communicating different states to users. There's on-off state, there's assistant state, there's different parts of Wi-Fi working, Wi-Fi not working. So this is an example of details that we prototype, test with users. We hold ourselves to really high standards, so we ship products that are helpful and hopefully delightful to our customers. So enabling connected devices in the home is a privilege and a responsibility we take seriously. We believe as we create wonderful technology for the home, it's our job to always put customers first and ensure that they're empowered and safe. It's especially important as technology changes and the home context is sensitive. So we needed a privacy model to reflect this. So last year we published a set of privacy commitments that apply when our devices and services are used with Google accounts. We've also taken a number of additional steps to safeguard the privacy of our users. For example, we changed the status light on Nest cameras to always be on and recording, and it's no longer it's no longer something that a customer can disable. So this means there's always a clear visual indicator when the device is recording. And I have to say, this was a really tough and controversial decision. We changed the way our customers were using our cameras, but we felt it was important to recognize every individual in the home and not just the owner of the device. So at the core of Nest is taking unloved products and giving them a new life. Our brand started with the Nest Learning Thermostat. It was essentially putting a computer on the wall. It's bold, it's iconic, it's beautifully designed. And I believe there's a growing importance of design. And as designers, we often horizontally span a company or a product, and that gives us the opportunity, and I believe also the responsibility, to design excellent user experiences. And I like to look at where one experience ends and another begins, where one team hands off to another team. There's many teams, there's a great deal of complexity, there's a lot of timelines going on in the background. But when it's time to launch, a product has to come together as one cohesive experience. And we have to look at the whole product and its entire life cycle, from manufacturing to setup to usage through to end of life. So my team spends a great amount of time looking at how the hardware and the software are intrinsically connected, looking at how someone will interact with the hardware physically, visually, and how the app is an extension of the hardware, how it sits in your home, and how you use it every day. And every detail matters. When designing, the team are obsessed with details. Setup and out of the box is crucial. It's what we call a pivotal moment. That's when we have to get it right, particularly with something like a thermostat. It's not every day you install a thermostat yourself, if ever. And we created a product you can install yourself in 30 minutes. And it's not easy. The end result is simple and elegant, but in the background, it's really intense and at times can feel impossible. The thermostat's also designed so you don't need to touch it often, even though it's beautiful and it's fun to play with. And it learns and saves you energy. It's also economical. So for the average home, it pays for itself in 2 years of energy saving. So since 2011, Nest thermostats have helped customers save more than 48 billion kilowatt hours of energy. So a novel way to put that is it's enough energy to power 1,000 libraries for 44 years. So a core part of our mission is to take care of the world around us, and we strive to build sustainability into everything that we do. So the fabric on a Nest Mini is made from 100% recycled water bottles. So 1.5 liter bottle makes enough fabric to cover 2 minis. And so in the last 18 months, our industrial design team, material science, engineering team worked with great rigor to create a fabric with no compromise, and also a range of beautiful colors. And last year, we announced sustainability commitments. So starting this year, 2020, 100% of shipments going to and from customers will be carbon neutral. And then starting in 2022, 100% of made by Google products will contain recycled materials. So you might wonder, what is your future home going to look like? Will everything be done for you and you no longer need to do anything? No. I mean, we can dream of those situations, but through research and a lot of ethnographic studies, humans don't want everything done for them. There's something amazing in the everyday mundane. And it's also very unique where people will trade off convenience. But homes will still be messy and unique and a place we call our own. So my work and the work of my team, we're focused on solving human needs and creating helpful and delightful products in their homes that are inclusive and accessible. I'm truly excited about the immense opportunity in front of us, and it's a continuous journey with the purpose of making home better through technology. And with a mission like that, I don't think we're ever going to be done.